Welcome to Witches of the Moon. This is Wednesday, and I'm your Wednesday host. And this week's topic is covering different ways to dress a candle. Now, I know that Eva has covered 7-day candles. However, I have not been able to watch Rhiannon's video from yesterday, so I'm not really sure what she covered, so I'm hoping that I'm not going to duplicate what she has talked about. However, I do think that she talked about pillar candles, but I think that they were the smaller kind. What I'm going to discuss today are these little guys, which are fairly common in our practice. Excuse me. They are the little chime candles that come in a variety of different colors, from red to black to white to pink to green, blue, purple, brown, yellow, any color you can think of. And they're pretty widely available. You can find them pretty much any place, at any metaphysical store, Amazon, eBay, anywhere. So these are the ones I'm going to cover today. Now, the way I do mine is fairly traditional. I don't do anything out of the ordinary when it comes to dressing a candle. I do use oils. What I'm going to be showing you today is kind of symbolic to love, since Imbolc is right around the corner, and Valentine's Day. And so it's a pink candle, rose essential oil, and I have some herbs down here, rose petals, crushed. So, different ways that you can dress a candle is like I said, the one I'm going to be talking about today is based around love, so that's what I'm going to be discussing today. Now, one thing you can do to start off with is you can charge the candle or bless the candle, and you can run it over some smoke to bless it, or incense smoke is what I meant to say, and say an intention while you're running it over the incense smoke. You can use a love or passion type of scent, rose for instance, if you wanted to, when it comes to blessing your candle with the incense. Then what you can do is you can carve, whether it be a symbol that is well known to you, a heart, or a sigil that you have created based around love or passion. You can put in, if you want to bring love to you, you can do a small inscription on the candle, carving it in of what you're wanting. If you have a specific person in mind that will not hinder that person's will, like in my case, if I want to strengthen the love or the passion between my husband and I can write his name down on the candle, because I'm not going against his free will. I'm not trying to make him love me. He already loves me. So I don't recommend you, if you have a crush or you're crushing on somebody, or you have your eye on somebody and you want them to love you, I would not recommend doing that, because it would be hindering their free will and it could backfire. So if you want to bring love to you, you could, like I said, create a sigil or write an intention down on the candle itself. Now, once you write the sigil down, or symbol, or whatever you put on the candle, this one I have not written anything on it, it's just a plain candle. Then what you can do is use some sort of an oil. You can do an essential oil, you can do an oil blend that you've created yourself, an oil blend that you have bought from other pagan witchy folk out there, and you can anoint the candle. Now, there are different ways to anoint candles. In this regard, If you're trying to bring love to you, this is how I do it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's the right way. There really is no wrong or right way to anoint a candle, as Eva had mentioned in her video. It's really based on tradition, and she's correct there. But the way I do it myself is if I want to bring something to me, say love or passion in this regard, then I would anoint in the same direction from the top to the bottom, all the way around the candle. I would anoint it the same way with the oil that I'm using, all the way around from the top to the bottom. That is bringing something to me, bringing that intention to me. Now, if I want to anoint the candle to where I want something to be released from me, hold that thought. Sorry about that. Wrong number. Anyway, if there's something that I want to release to where I no longer want it anymore, whether it be, like I said, this is just, it could be anything. I can't think of anything right now, but if you want to release something, then you would anoint it from the bottom up to release it. Now, if you feel something is happening to you and you need to do like a spell breaker or something along those lines, and I've only done these a couple of handfuls of time in my life, but you would anoint the candle from the middle out. And the way I do it is I anoint what I want is I will anoint the candle from the middle up and then from the middle down. So I would anoint it this way and then this way. To me, that is a like a spell breaker or a curse breaker or something along those lines. So there are different ways to anoint the candle, whether it be to bring it to you, release it, or as a breaker spell from the middle out. Now, once you are finished with the oil and the anointing of the candle, then you would roll it in your herbs. Now, I haven't anointed this one, so if I roll it in my roses, it's not going to stick. But maybe I can do a little bit here. Yeah. Oop, hold on. Okay, so I went ahead and I threw a little bit of oil on the candle, just a little teeny tiny bit, because I don't want to cover the oil, or cover the candle in oil. But once you put the anointing oil on the candle and then you roll it in the herbs, then it would look something like this. Now, with these in particular candles, and I'm telling you this from experience, do not use a whole lot of herbs, for the simple fact it is a fire hazard. Granted, my altar room is just down the hallway from me, and I keep an eye on my candles like most people should. However, if you put too many herbs on here, considering these herbs are dried, once the candle burns down, because these in particular candles don't release wax, they're non-drip, these in particular kinds are. Once the candle burns all the way down, you will have a pile of dried herbs at the bottom that will catch fire if you don't snuff out the candle before it is completely done. A lot of people will snuff out the candle to finish out the spell beforehand, but there are some out there that let the candle burn down all the way and let it go out on its own. I am one of those people. If you have a lot of herbs on this candle and you let it burn all the way down, it will catch fire. I have had this happen to me a couple of times. I have even had this happen to me with a votive candle. And I just about burnt my house down because I did not catch it in time, and it burned all the way down. The herbs caught fire, and it shattered my votive candle holder. Shattered it into a gazillion little pieces. So, if you do it this way, I recommend that you do not put a whole lot of herbs on it, because it doesn't matter how many herbs are on it as long as the herbs are on it. But I do not recommend covering it in herbs, because it is a fire hazard. And if you do plan on covering it and covering the candle in herbs, I highly recommend you keep an eye on the candle, okay? So, that is how I dress a candle, that is how I anoint a candle, and that is how I work a candle. So, now, this week's question that I'm going to ask all of you is not so much based around the candle itself, because there are many ways that people will dress a candle, yes, but I'm going to assume that the question of how do you anoint a candle will be asked at least one time this week. So, my question is, considering Imbolc is right around the corner, my question to you is do you, when you do ritual, if you do a ritual for Imbolc, do you do the same ritual every year, or do you change it up every year? And if you change it up every year, what do you change? Do you change the whole thing? Do you change little aspects of the ritual? Or do you use the same ritual every year? Do you have this ritual that you use and you put into your Book of Shadows and you stick with that ritual every year? So that's my question for Imbolc, or any other Sabbath for that matter, but we're going to discuss Imbolc since it's right around the corner. Do you do the same ritual every year, or do you change it up? Okay? So until next week, blessed be.